Okay. All right. Now I would like to invite our next speaker. And our next speaker is Olga Eckardt from Germany. And the topic of her presentation is remote work challenges. Olga, are you with us?
Yes.
Fantastic.
And I hope.
The screen is yours.
Yeah.
You see your presentation now.
Good. Thank you.
Please move ahead.
Yeah. I will talk about this quite specific and quite challenging topic, especially last 1.5 year. Before, because of my work, I was quite a lot of traveling and having always this interactions on site with my customers. Currently, all and everything is working remotely, so we need to do a lot of work. And yeah, so what I want to talk, the complexity, where it's coming from, this evolution between group and team, skill, will, and engagement, and where the pain points are hidden and how to work with this. So firstly, the complexity. Of course, to manage one by one or just a few people is one thing. To manage many people, manage it remotely, have this more flexible teams, which is just fully shared and spread over the world, including different cultures, including different time zones, including different abilities of communications, is something different. Then the second part, of course, if we have a group of the people or we have a really team and a normal teamwork for this. The third problem, which is typically coming in such a situation, is a slow engagement. So to be remotely, be in a distance is normally as well, meaning that you would have as for lower engagement in the processes. You are not touching it. Then definitely is missing nonverbal communication. So currently I don't see the audience perception or non-perception of my speech. I'm trying to switch on my video, but honestly, it's still quite a lot of the things are missing. And then there's non-verbal communication as well missing, especially is missing when we are trying to write. So we're not able to read emotions or not able to read sarcasm or jokes or this or that through the mails. So we need to accept it, and sometimes we might even misunderstand because of this. Additionally, number 5 in my list is this missing personal background or missing personality. So we currently, when I'm talking with each of you, or if I would be trying to work with each of you, I can understand, okay, you're a professional, you are belong to this or that industry, or you belongs to some companies, but I don't know you. And then for me, this is a bit, again, the distance communication, because when instead of my colleagues, I see just a technical professionals, then this is not the same communication and not the same team working as if I would be having the personality and some personal background, and then I have the feeling together with these people and have some more easily catch their meaning and more easily catch interactions with them. Definitely currently is quite heavy, this information overflow. We are writing mails, we are trying to call, we are trying to chat and this and that, and then to get all the information together, it's quite a challenge. So, and it's sometimes it's already, so if the dialogue is in front of you, so you can follow who was said and how was misunderstand or understand or whatever was happening. But when this is a ping pong with the emails, and then you're out of this ping pong, try to understand, okay, and so what was exactly currently. This is a bit different. And of course, home office is, we quite often lose focus, and we can be disturbed by delivery in the door, by the children's, by the whatever weather. If we look on this group team evolution, if we are talking about this situation, so of course we know that we have here the group and we want to get the performing team. We need to go through the storming. And this is a question how quick we can make this phase. So if we can do it quite accelerated and quite fast, with these things, or we would just stuckle in this, and because we're not really able to go through the storming phase quickly or remotely. So we need to build a team, but we need to build a team remotely. And there is several things how to go through. So one thing is, of course, we know that if we add or eliminate some persons from the group, so from the team, we are coming back to the group. So to avoid it, one of the tricky part is to make this fixed small groups, micro groups, where the people are working together. Again, the principles, how you are develop them or how you put them together can be different. Then the second interesting part is self-organization. So I mean, in this case, this ideality from TRIZ is working quite well. So indeed, the group need by itself. The group need by itself organize, the group need by itself take decisions. This is well, because this is going through this conflict management through this phase. So it's faster going to this direction. Then, of course, to avoid this micromanagement, in principle, you need to understand that you would be not able to work with shared teams where you would be managed directly every person, and then you would, you just will have unrealistical time spent to the micromanagement, and this will not give you any result. The other interesting point, what we was as well trying to do is the online war room to make the typical disturbances on my side. This online war room where you can work together, when you can discuss, when you can work on the one and the same whiteboard, to write together, to develop together. For this, you definitely need to have some special technical things, and the PowerPoint to show it's just the talking face, which is, or talking hand, which are just presenting something, but there are no interactions, so there are no engagement, there are no involvement. This is working quite badly. And of course, this feedback loops, they're quite important, because if you have no feedback loop, then mainly you can guess, or you can assume or hope or wish what the other people accept or understand from this, but you would be even never able to ensure what they indeed got from this presentation or from this interaction. When we talk about the skill will, then it's in many cases this skill and will might become different and important. That's with a real physical contact, because this part of authoritative style, which is working with a low skill and low will good, will be just very heavy to implement in the real life, because then you need to really do again the micromanagement, and you will spend a huge amount of time. With this supportive and the cooperative, when the people need to be additionally, especially when you want to coach and when you want to train them, then you need to find the way how to coach and train in such a situation, because when you are sitting in one room, it's much more easily to do any training and coaching, especially with the whole team, not one-to-one. when you have a separated remote organization which is spread worldwide, this is firstly just heavy to organize. Secondly, you have this feedback loop from every person, so it can be slightly heavy in this moment, or you do it one-to-one, but you want to train and you want to use it as a training of the team and teamwork, and then you need to find the way how to organize. Coming to the previous presentation, gamification could be probably very good in this moment. And this is as well, adding these challenges, of course. So where and what? If we will start to map our project, or if we would start to look on this as in the process analysis of our project or of our daily work, if you will start to look on how the flows, information flow, working flow, working and doing inside of the project. If you will look if the system is full, if the system has all the interconnection, if all the parts are involved, if you will look on your resources, then you can, for each of them, find and map on top of this bottleneck, too less or too much information, some decision-making point or some pain point, where you really need to critically observe and where you expect that it can come the conflicts or contradictions or any missing parts or any overflowing parts, and then you need really to deal with this. But these things can be mapped upfront and can be transparent for the whole team, and then with all these things it's much more easy to work. And using another tool of TRIZ, this ideal result, so we can say, okay, what we need ideally from technology, from communications, from the skill, and what we have currently. And then if we compare what we have with what we need, then we can find the gaps, and then we can build up the processes, build up the flows. That way that we will, let's say, at minimum mitigate the problems in these gaps. As maximum, we can use maybe the additional tools or additional trainings or additional interactions to really close this gap and to really get this working well. Coming to the outcome of these things, that's from this one view many. If classically we were saying that our communication would be good if we have 7 ± 2, then in the online meetings, I would say that's 5 ± 1 is a much better situation, because honestly, even if everyone will switch on video and we will look on each other, when you have a lot of small pictures, then you are still not reading emotions. And all these huge meetings with all participants, which has at minimum some small meaning, but maybe still a meaning when we do it face to face. When we do it remotely, they extremely quickly start to lose meaning and start to lose efficiency. And this way, the size of the groups, it would be good, let's say, it would be much more efficient if you would start to decrease the size of the group. And this was one of my ideas of having the micro groups, which is working together. With between the group and teams, the one thing is that we definitely need to care to accelerate build up of the team. So to moving from the group to the team, when we have it in the real life, face to face, it's maybe not that, I mean, it's anyway critical. We want to be in the productive phase, of course, but maybe we can manage it more easy. But here we need to find the ways, and honestly, I would say that the trainings and some kind of games and such a things, which can be as well handled online, they are helping a lot. to overcome this stage quite quick. And this is, it's one of the critical keys to get the proper working team. Yeah, the fixed and small teams, which you are not need to change, which can go practically from the project to the project, which can go from the work stream to the work stream, or work in parallel, or this and that. It would be more easy to work with a leader of the work stream and the leader of the groups, but the groups are fixed and they are held together as long as possible, that we not have a back movement from the team to the group. So they are able to work together effectively and efficiently, and they are working. And we think about the ideality from the technology, from the will and skill, and we are thinking, okay, ideal result is this, how, this one step back from the ideal result, how much we can go close to this. The other point which was mentioned is low engagement. Again, the trainings, war room, personality discussion, online coffee breaks, and many other things, including, honestly, we have our Christmas party celebration this year at work online way, including beer yoga in the Friday evenings. And of course, as I said, the feedback. Feedback is very, very important, because whatever you are doing, if you are not getting feedback, this is your assumption. It's not reality. So only with the feedback, you can increase engagement, because many people would be, if they are not able to give their feedback, they are stepping out. And this is as well, 7 ± 2, okay, 9 person in a call. How much time I need to give for everyone to give a feedback. For example, in our call, if I would say, oh guys, I'm indeed very interested in your feedback, but if I would give for each of you 1 minute to give me feedback, which will be very, very rough, we already be out of the timing. So heavy. This is why the group is small, but feedback is always collected. Missing non-verbal communications. Yeah, so far, better think, of course, switch on this video and have some rules, and have some even rules with currently the Teams and many other tools, allowed to applaud, allowed to have some emotions, allowed to this, allowed to that, to really try to give some ideas and some hints what is going on. Missing personalities background. Firstly, it's of course via engagement we can do it, and secondly, for example, currently we have a big project with SAP, so each of us during most of the presentations has a small 1-slide presentation about ourselves, hobbies, like, don't like, do's, don't do's, my wishes, my hates, my whatever. So to have a bit understanding with whom we are really working, and about what we are really talking, and to be able a bit more closer find this communication. Information overflow. It was even, of course, before Corona time was a big problem, but currently with all these ping pongs and this and that, we are having one place of trust. We having one shared documents when we are working. By the way, sometimes it's very strangely because when the people start to work with the one document in the Teams, they can have a technical it's not even problems. You're working with one Excel and you decide to adjust it for you and filter it for you, but all the rest is seeing the same filtering and adjust it in this moment. And then some 2-3 people start to resort or filter the same documents. We found these rules currently, but let's say sometimes I would say that technology is still not supporting us good enough. So we are still missing something. Yeah, and of course about this business, this focus point and the side disturbances. So we try to have some business rule. We try to have some ideas then in the teams, which time you can get a calls, which time is a focus time when we are not disturbing each other, and how to organize it together with a private life, because yeah, everyone is affected currently by this. I should be more or less, yeah, 1 minute more. So summary, definitely all these things and new challenges for working with the teams are requested new rules of cooperations, and these rules need to be discussed, and it would be good if you will involve your teams to discussing this rule and build it together, because it's as well solving the problem of engagement and acceptance. If you would just write the rules instead of your team, it would be quite complicated. Hierarchical team was a self-organizational structure, and this small group, small teams. So to have work streams, to have interactions between the work streams or parts, but really, yeah, it should be thought up front how you want to organize the work, that you're not mixing people between the teams, but you are getting teams working with one or another topic. It could be that one person in a team is more advanced and experienced, and he's training the others. Or maybe you would be making it totally opposite. You will put the more advanced and experienced the persons together in one teams for a very long time, and they will be solving more complicated problems and overpathing and interacting. But then the novices will do something different, maybe with a less impact or slower or this or that. And definitely such a feedbacks need to be very regular, because if someone is stuck somewhere, it can be that the work is not happening and you even not see it. Definitely soft skills became more and more critical. I know many people who is absolutely great professionals, but they are not able to communicate, or they have problems with such a remote communications, and then they are not able to contribute their brilliant things, because they have problems to change the way of the work. And yeah, and a physical and a face-to-face contact, they are much better than in the current days. Yeah, again, this is just a question how much you want to invest and how much you add to this point to get your team in a better way, in the better language skills in many cases, and a better communication or presentation skills. Yeah. Then, of course, currently to think upfront for the process flow, for the process and for the flows and for the resources, it should be done a bit upfront. It's not anymore the way that you are playing in the moment when everything is already decided and the teams are already created, because there you have more challenges with the changing. It's looking more easy, but honestly, you can be catched with the things that, okay, it doesn't matter. We are anyway online communicate. I will currently redesign my team. So you will again get a group. So don't be trapped on this. So this is quite big problem, that it's looking more easy, but honestly, it's becoming more complicated in this case. And ideal modeling of real situations are helping to find the directions where we are going. Yeah, feedback loop, once again, feedback loop. And now it will be a feedback loop from your side.
All right. Olga, thank you very much for your presentation. And you definitely raised a very important issue, which has been under discussion quite a lot recently, how we can we effectively do the teamwork online. Well, I would say that last year, I spent the whole year online, And every day I had like 5 or 6 or 7 sessions with different companies, different people, and so on. And I can tell you one thing, that on an individual level, the online can be even better than inside a room. But working with a team, and the bigger the team is, it definitely requires a different format. And we do not have it yet. At least I have not heard about it. So basically, you approach the problem from the right angle first, and identifying the uh, necessary questions, right? Necessary problems, and then trying to look for answers. And I believe that last year has changed our world, and more will go online, because on the one hand, you see how much costs are reduced by working online. I remember my travels, and it's like every second week flying elsewhere. It's huge costs actually. And then only during 4 last years, I stayed in the hotels 52 times, not 52 nights, 52 different hotels within 4 years. It's crazy. So definitely we are looking for new solutions. And your presentation is quite important with that respect. And I liked some ideas, but it raises more contradictions.
Yeah, but honestly, it was mainly start to be so heavily and so contradictorily since the last year. I was mainly spending my time so over the world, and more than 1 year, I'm sitting exactly on this chair and working from here every day. Yeah, I'm not anymore spending time even to travel to the work, but honestly, or yeah, sometimes very rarely, but honestly, it's much more complicated. One-to-one, no problem. But with a team and with the trainings and with all the things where I need to understand if my participants will understand me, oh, and then it's a challenge, honestly.
True.
So we try to collect, but this is in the beginning of the collection. So we try to find the way from the project to the project how to organize it better in the next time. And we hope I hope that I was touched some points where I said, yeah, it's looking that there are some approach, but honestly, we are still in the phase of the collecting this information. It's a new topic.
By the way, my question was that probably there have been how do you call them, multi people online games for a long time, like Second Life, where millions of people really Second Life, it's not really a game, it's a sort of gaming society. There are, I don't know how many million people. It's been there for more than 10 years, and they create these online groups. You can even earn money, real money, with that game, and so on. Have you ever looked at this part, how they do it? Because they've been also working in the teams, online teams, for many years.
Honestly, not. When we face this problem, then we just firstly start to try to understand, because the first problem was to make not the teamwork indeed. The teams are for us mainly fixed, and we know this background and this and that. So we have less challenges here, but was a challenge how to train the people and how to get a feedback for this remote trainings that this is still effective and they get this knowledge. And this was quite heavy because normally then you are seeing what they are doing, so you can follow the several people. But then the situation was changed. We get a huge amount of different colleagues, new colleagues worldwide, and we need to organize currently new projects. So this S4HANA Cloud, a very special approach currently, where so many people from the different companies even can interconnected in this and that. And we are trying to describe in one common language from the different part of the world, even with bad English sometimes, something what need to work after that. And this make us crazy, honestly. but with the intensity of such a discussions and this and that, we honestly try to organize some after parties and the evening events to be a bit more involved. But many people just decline because they said, sorry, I'm currently, if before I was only 7 hours in the office, currently I'm 12 hours in front of my laptop. I don't want to spend additional hour additionally in the evening. Yeah. And this make a problem.
Thank you. Well, there was a question, not a question, but comment from Siegfried Wegert. Valerie, you cannot play Half-Line alone from home. Well, basically, I only played a very small part of it. But what I said, I meant Second Life. Google it, and you will find what is it, Second Life. There is a question from Richard. Dear Olga, did you apply any function analysis in approaching your teamwork issue? And where did you rank the problem?
So far not. I was more focused on the process analysis and the flow analysis. Especially the flow analysis was showing a lot of bottlenecks and a lot of this pinpoint where we try to solve it fastly, that the information would be transparent and there will be one place of the truth, which give us quite big improvement in the teamwork. The functional analysis probably will give some interesting outcomes, but so far I haven't started with this. As I said, it's quite recent for me.
You mean you used TRIZ-based flow analysis?
Yes, okay. Exactly, and a TRIZ-based process analysis.
Right. Okay, from Richard, correct. You are tackling a great task. If you find a solution, I give you the Nobel Prize in Economics in Stockholm next year.
Yeah.
So Richard represents Sweden. So
good.
Right. Okay. No more questions as I see. We are precisely on time. So Olga, thank you very much for another great presentation. I mean, your presentation also raised many questions and feedback, which you did in Russian language last year.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm always interested in the other presentations, and currently when I was listening, for example, gamification, this previous presentation, I was thinking, and why we are not using it? It would solve part of our problems, by the way. So it's sometimes very interesting when I'm sitting in such a thinking, I expect to present some topic, but I already start to find some answers.
Great.
It's great. It's great. Thank you.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay, Olga. Thank you very much.